Hey everybody, this is Scott from What You Seek, and today I am going to be looking at the Seiko Prospex SRPC44. This is referred to as the Goldtone turtle. So it has the turtle nickname for obvious reasons here for this case shape. Now, back in 2016, Seiko reissued the very popular 6306 diver watches from the mid 70s to, I don't know, I think it was like 1988. And when they reissued it, I believe they started with 4 different variants. Now I think they're up to 6 different colorways of this same watch. So we have this one here. This is the Goldtone case. At the same time this one was released, they came out with a black version, and that was this year for 2018. Previous releases, the original has stainless steel case here. They make one with a Pepsi bezel, a blue dial with the Patty logo on it. There's one with stainless and then using a gold gilt. And today we're going to be looking at this new Goldtone turtle. Well, actually we're going to be I'm going to do something a little different here. So there are so many reviews on this new reissue starting from the SRP777. So I've always been curious about this case shape, right? But I've been scared of the size, right? It's 44 millimeters. I'm like, well, I don't know if I like that. Now on Instagram, of course, I'm seeing a lot of these, and I've been very curious on what it's like to wear this case shape. So when Seiko USA said that they had a Goldtone that they could send out for review, I jumped on the opportunity. And realistically, now what I want to do is compare it to my SKX007, because this, I think a lot of people have this watch. This is a very popular diver watch from the Seiko lineup. It's very affordable priced, just a hair under $200 all over the internet. Now, just in case you're wondering, this has been modified. I put a different insert. This is a Loom ceramic bezel insert in here with the 12-hour markers on there. But I wanted to see, I love this watch. I love the 007. I just love the feel of it. And I wanted to see if this, which is a little bit more money, this retails for $525. And with most Seiko in this price range, the street price is a little lower. So what is the differences, and would I like this turtle design? And first off, I just want to say, after wearing it for a couple days, I want this watch. Probably not in the Goldtone, but I definitely want the watch. Now, the Goldtone, I mean, we're seeing more and more gold tones from a lot of different manufacturers. It makes sense that Seiko is going to come out with this yellow gold. I don't think it's going to surpass stainless steel and some of the other colors of cases, but it's definitely gaining some popularity. So right off the bat, you can see there is a size difference between these two watches. And realistically, it's only 2 millimeters in each direction. So this turtle here, that's a 44.5 millimeter case. My 007 is a 42.5. The turtle has a case thickness of about 14 millimeters. This guy here is about 12 and a quarter. The difference from lug to lug, the turtle is 48 and the SKX is 46. So you kind of get the idea. They both share the same lug width of 22, so if you have some straps for your SKX and you wanted to get into the turtles, your straps would easily carry over into this new case shape. They both have 200 meter water resistance. They both have a screw down crown. They have a day date. The movement is a little different. So on the SKX, you have a 7S26. I cannot hand wind this movement. To get it going in the morning or whenever it's run down, you kind of do the Seiko shuffle there, and it comes to life really fast. This guy here uses the 4R36 movement, and this I can hand wind. They both have Hardlex crystal. Now we're going to start talking about the differences realistically. The first thing I noticed right off the bat was the bezel. On the SKX here, we have a 60-click bezel. There's definitely been issues, of course, all over the internet with it not lining up. It's slightly off. The bezel on this SRP is a 120-click bezel. Much finer. I like it. It's a joy to use this bezel, okay? Definitely nicer. The other difference is, and it might be hard to see on this video here, but the dial here, this is just a matte black dial, okay? This has a very subtle sunburst pattern to it. So when you're out in the sun, this dial will start to come alive. Well, this one, well, it's just kind of lackluster. And I love this watch. I love my SKX, but the dial, there is definitely a difference. The other difference, if we're looking at the dial here, is the applied markers. This doesn't have any applied markers. This does, okay? So there's little on here. We can look at this gold version. You'll see a little gold outline on where the Lumibrite is filled. And the Loom on the turtle here is noticeably brighter than on the SKX. So that right off the bat blew me away. And I talk about the SKX on how great that Loom is. Well, this turtle definitely even better. And because you have these applied markers with, there's a little bulbous to the Lumibrite, the way it fills those circles, it gives another dimension to the dial that the SKX just doesn't have. And side by side, the SKX just tend to look a little flatter because, well, they are. The hands are virtually the same shape. I think just different proportions here for the bigger case. On the gold one, obviously, we see the gold hands versus the silver here, but they are both filled with Loom. The second hand, you have the lollipop on the counterbalance that's going around here, and that is Loom filled as well. The big thing for me was I never jumped on the bandwagon on this because I was afraid of the wearing comfort of this being a little bigger than what the SKX is. And I have to say, I don't really notice a difference at all. And that's a good thing because the wearing comfort of this watch is phenomenal. Hang on one second, let me get it on the wrist. Okay, here is the Seiko Prospex SRPC44 on the wrist. Now, right off the bat, you'll notice, I mean, the K shape is different. This has a larger wrist presence. Yes, it is larger than the SKX. As far as how it feels on the wrist, if you're familiar with the SKX size and comfort factor of that, this is virtually identical. I really couldn't notice much of a difference, which for me, thumbs up on that. I mean, I'm like, that was one of the barriers to admission for this turtle case for me, was how it was going to feel on the wrist. The lug to lug distance is virtually the same. There's a millimeter longer on the turtle than the SKX in each direction. So not much of a difference. The strap on this that came along with the SRPC44 is nice. It's a silicone strap. It's very soft. In most silicone, I would say, tends to be a dust magnet. I don't know what they did on this, but I haven't found that to be the case. Now it's summer and I haven't been wearing long sleeve shirts to maybe attract some lint, that kind of thing. But very, very comfortable strap. The one that comes with the SKX, this is a harder plastic. I was very quick to change this strap out. The one that comes with this turtle here is very comfortable, and I don't see any reason to change it. You can see we have a large pin buckle here, and we have a metal keeper. I don't know if the metal keeper is necessary. It's nice. I do find that it tends to slide around fairly easy. Maybe if they had a silicone keeper here, it would hold its place a little better, but it's not a deal breaker in any way. But definitely a very comfortable watch. And in fact, I'm not much on this gold one, and that's why I didn't really want to do a detailed review on this watch because there are so many, but I figured there might be people that have a watch like this that were a little curious about the turtle and what the experience is like. I think an SRP 777 is going to be in my future for the summer of 2018 watch. I liked it that much. I just love the shape, where the crown is. It sits up high, and let me take this off. If you've never seen the SKX, the case profile, it's very similar. And you can see we have all these rounded pieces there, right? So when you look at this, when this is on your wrist, very comfortable as this slides around. We do have drilled lugs. Pretty cool. I like that. Easier to change your straps. The fact that the crown is at 430 here means it's less likely to dig into your wrist when you move your hand around. So I guess let me just highlight the key differences for me between these two watches and why I think they're worth the extra money to go to this Prospex version of Turtle here. First of all, the Loom. The Loom is huge. I mean, this is a tool watch. I want to be able to see the Loom on this watch. Legibility Loom is awesome and much better on this than on the Seiko. I love the bezel differences. The bezel, the 120 click bezel here, it's just a pleasure to use this bezel. The markers, the applied markers, the sunburst on the dial, very, very subtle sunburst. It just gives a little more dimensionality to the watch. And like I was mentioning, the strap. So in my mind, the difference of a couple $100, and it is a lot of money. You're talking $200 to street price of about $400. So it's double the price. Is it worth double the price? In my mind, yes, I really do. Now I already own an SKX, and so I will be adding one of these to my collection. But you know, if you're starting out, boy, now that's a tough decision. I think if you have the money, if you can afford the 400, go for one of these newer turtle case shapes if you like the case shape, right? Part of what's put me off buying this was the case shape, but once I got it on the wrist, I really fell in love with it. So that is kind of my comparison of a SKX owner wearing a turtle-shaped Seiko for the first time. So this is the Seiko Prospex SRPC44, and this has a retail price in the US of $525. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and be sure to leave comments below. Thanks for watching.